You might not believe this, but a single Brazil nut contains more selenium than most people get in an entire week, a mineral that studies show can reduce cancer risk by 31% and boost thyroid function in seniors. Yet here's what most doctors won't tell you: eating Brazil nuts incorrectly after 70 can lead to selenium toxicity, thyroid dysfunction, and serious digestive problems. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms that how you consume these powerful nuts determines whether they heal you or harm you. This might sound surprising, but multiple studies from institutions like Johns Hopkins and the Journal of Nutrition reveal that seniors who eat Brazil nuts without understanding proper guidelines face risks that completely negate the benefits. So let's count down from number 6 to number 1, the 6 dangerous mistakes that could be turning the superfood into a health hazard, and the exact solutions to fix each one. Mistake number 6, not checking the origin and quality, the foundation. Let's start with something most seniors overlook entirely: where your Brazil nuts come from matters more than you think. Brazil nuts are unique because they absorb minerals from the soil more efficiently than almost any other food. This is wonderful when they're grown in clean, selenium-rich soil. But it becomes dangerous when they're grown in contaminated areas. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Food Science tested Brazil nuts from various regions and found that nuts from certain areas contained concerning levels of radium, a radioactive element, and barium, a toxic heavy metal. Nuts from Bolivia showed radium levels up to 1,000 times higher than other foods. Here's why this matters for seniors: your kidneys and liver naturally slow down after 70, making it harder to filter out toxins. What a younger body might handle, yours might struggle with. Additionally, Brazil nuts are susceptible to aflatoxin contamination, a carcinogenic mold that grows when nuts are stored improperly in warm, humid conditions. The European Food Safety Authority found that up to 18% of tested Brazil nut samples exceeded safe aflatoxin limits. The right solution: always buy Brazil nuts from reputable sources that test for contaminants. Look for organic certification, which requires testing for heavy metals. Brands that source from Peru tend to have lower radium levels than those from Bolivia. Check the packaging for a fresh, clean smell when you open them. If they smell musty, moldy, or rancid, discard them immediately. Store open packages in airtight glass containers in the refrigerator to prevent mold growth. Buy smaller quantities more frequently rather than bulk purchasing. Fresh Brazil nuts should have a mild, slightly sweet flavor. Any bitterness or strange aftertaste is a warning sign. It's a small change, but it ensures you're getting healing nutrients, not hidden toxins. Mistake number 5, eating too many Brazil nuts daily, the silent danger. Here's the mistake that catches almost everyone: thinking that if one Brazil nut is good, 5 must be better. Brazil nuts contain extraordinarily high levels of selenium, approximately 68 to 91 micrograms per nut. The recommended daily allowance for seniors is 55 micrograms, with an upper safe limit of 400 micrograms per day. A study from the University of Otago in New Zealand tracked seniors who consumed 5 or more Brazil nuts daily. Within just 8 weeks, 43% showed early signs of selenium toxicity, including hair loss, brittle nails, digestive issues, and a distinctive garlic breath odor. Selenium toxicity, called selenosis, can cause serious problems: nerve damage, fatigue, irritability, and in severe cases, liver and kidney dysfunction. One case report documented a 65-year-old woman who developed seizures after consuming 8 Brazil nuts daily for several months. The irony is cruel. You're eating these nuts for health benefits, yet overdoing it creates the opposite effect. Your body needs selenium, but there's a narrow window between therapeutic and toxic doses. The right way: limit yourself to 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day maximum. This provides 70 to 180 micrograms of selenium, well within the safe range while delivering maximum benefits. Many nutrition experts actually recommend eating Brazil nuts just 2 to 3 times per week rather than daily. This approach gives your body time to process and excrete excess selenium while still maintaining optimal levels. If you're taking a multivitamin or selenium supplement, check the label. If it contains selenium, reduce your Brazil nut intake to just 1 nut twice weekly to avoid cumulative toxicity. Keep a small calendar or use your phone to track your consumption. It's surprisingly easy to forget and accidentally eat them daily. Think of Brazil nuts like medicine: the dose makes the difference between healing and harm. Mistake number 4, eating Brazil nuts on an empty stomach, the digestive disruptor. Now let's talk about timing, specifically, the mistake of eating Brazil nuts first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Brazil nuts are incredibly dense and rich in fat, about 19 grams per ounce. When you eat them on an empty stomach, especially after an overnight fast, your digestive system gets overwhelmed. A group of seniors in a Portuguese study reported that eating nuts on an empty stomach caused significant discomfort. 52% experienced nausea, 38% had acid reflux, and 29% felt uncomfortably bloated within 30 minutes. Here's what's happening inside your body. Your gallbladder releases bile to digest fats, but after hours of fasting, it needs gradual activation. Hitting it with concentrated fat triggers a rapid bile dump that can cause cramping and nausea. The high selenium content also irritates an empty stomach lining. Selenium, while essential, is a mineral that your stomach needs to buffer with food. Without that buffer, it can cause burning sensations and digestive upset. The right solution. Always eat Brazil nuts after you've had something else in your stomach. Start your morning with warm water and a light breakfast, perhaps oatmeal, yogurt, or fruit. Wait 30 to 45 minutes, then have your Brazil nut. The ideal time is mid-morning or mid-afternoon as a snack, about 2 to 3 hours after a meal. Your digestive system is active but not overly full. Another excellent option, incorporate your Brazil nut into a meal. Chop it finely and sprinkle it over a salad, blend it into a smoothie with banana and berries, or add it to your morning oatmeal. The surrounding food creates a protective cushion. Never eat Brazil nuts right before bed. The fat content can cause reflux when you lie down, and the selenium boost might interfere with sleep in sensitive individuals. Consistency is what turns this from just a habit into your body's quiet repair signal. Mistake number 3, ignoring medication and supplement interactions, the game changer. Here's a mistake that can have serious consequences, not considering how Brazil nuts interact with your medications and supplements. Selenium has powerful effects on your body's chemistry, and it doesn't always play well with certain medications. A 2020 review in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacy identified several concerning interactions. First, selenium can interfere with thyroid medications. If you're taking levothyroxine for hypothyroidism, high selenium intake can alter how your body processes the medication. Some studies show selenium can actually worsen thyroid function in people with thyroid disorders if not carefully monitored. Second, selenium affects blood clotting. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, Brazil nuts can amplify these effects, potentially increasing bleeding risk. One study documented a 68-year-old man on warfarin whose INR levels, clotting time, became dangerously elevated after adding Brazil nuts to his daily routine. Third, selenium can reduce the effectiveness of certain statin medications used for cholesterol management. It may also interact with chemotherapy drugs, though more research is needed. When your cells start absorbing high selenium levels while you're on these medications, you create an unpredictable chemical environment in your body. The right solution. Before adding Brazil nuts to your diet, consult your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you take thyroid medications, levothyroxine, Synthroid, blood thinners, warfarin, clopidogrel, aspirin, statin drugs, atorvastatin, simvastatin, chemotherapy medications, immunosuppressants. Ask your doctor to check your selenium levels through a simple blood test. This baseline measurement helps you and your doctor determine whether Brazil nuts are appropriate for you and in what quantity. If you're already taking selenium supplements, you should probably avoid Brazil nuts entirely. The combination creates redundancy that easily leads to toxicity. Keep a medication journal that includes all foods, supplements, and medications. Share this with every healthcare provider you see. Most people never realize how quickly the body responds once it finally gets what it needs, and how unpredictably it reacts when nutrients conflict with medications. Before we move to mistake number 2, if this is helping you understand Brazil nuts better, tap that like button. Your small click helps this channel reach more seniors who need hope and good science. And tell us in the comments, were you surprised by any of these interactions? We read every single story. Mistake number 2, eating Brazil nuts with the wrong foods, the hidden hero. Now we reach one of the most important mistakes, combining Brazil nuts with foods that block selenium absorption or create digestive chaos. This is where many well-intentioned seniors sabotage themselves without knowing it. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that certain food combinations can reduce selenium absorption by up to 40%, while others can cause uncomfortable digestive symptoms. A comprehensive study at Oregon State University examined how different foods affect mineral absorption in seniors. They found that phytates, found in raw grains and legumes, oxalates, in spinach and rhubarb, and high amounts of sulfur-containing foods can significantly interfere with selenium uptake. For many seniors, this becomes the turning point, the moment they start feeling young from the inside again. Because when you pair foods correctly, you don't just avoid problems, you multiply benefits. Here's why it matters: selenium works synergistically with certain nutrients but antagonistically with others. Think of your digestive system like a complex orchestra. Some instruments harmonize beautifully, others create discord. Vitamin C enhances selenium absorption by up to 30%. Vitamin E works together with selenium to provide antioxidant protection, each amplifying the other's effects. Healthy fats help transport selenium through your intestinal wall. But other combinations spell trouble. High-fiber foods eaten simultaneously can bind to selenium and carry it out of your body before absorption. Excessive sugar creates inflammation that interferes with mineral uptake. The right combinations. Best pairings. Brazil nuts plus citrus fruits. The vitamin C in oranges, grapefruits, or kiwis enhances selenium absorption significantly. Try eating one Brazil nut with your morning orange slices. Brazil nuts plus avocado. The healthy fats in avocado help transport selenium through your system while providing complementary nutrients that support thyroid health. Brazil nuts plus eggs. Both are selenium-rich, but eggs also provide amino acids that help your body utilize selenium more effectively. A chopped Brazil nut in your morning scramble is excellent. Brazil nuts plus berries. Blueberries and strawberries provide antioxidants that work synergistically with selenium's antioxidant properties. This combination particularly supports brain health. Brazil nuts plus Greek yogurt. The probiotics in yogurt support gut health, improving your ability to absorb all minerals, including selenium. Plus, the protein slows digestion for steady nutrient release. Worst combinations to avoid. Crossmark Brazil nuts plus high-fiber cereals. Eating Brazil nuts with bran cereal or high-fiber bread can bind the selenium and reduce absorption by 35 to 40%. Crossmark Brazil nuts plus raw spinach. The oxalates in raw spinach can interfere with selenium absorption. Cooked spinach is fine, as cooking reduces oxalate content. Crossmark Brazil nuts plus coffee or tea. The tannins in these beverages can bind to minerals and reduce absorption. Wait at least 1 to 2 hours after your Brazil nut before drinking coffee or tea. Crossmark Brazil nuts plus calcium-rich dairy. High calcium intake can compete with selenium for absorption. Space them apart by at least 2 hours. Crossmark Brazil nuts plus sugary foods. Sugar creates inflammation that interferes with mineral metabolism and transport. Timing strategy. Eat your Brazil nuts mid-morning or mid-afternoon with a small piece of fruit. This timing ensures your stomach has food but isn't overly full, and it's far enough from coffee or high-calcium meals. If you take calcium supplements, take them in the evening, and eat your Brazil nut in the morning. This 8 to 12-hour separation prevents competitive absorption. A study from the University of Illinois found that seniors who paid attention to food pairing absorbed 47% more selenium from Brazil nuts compared to those who ate them randomly with any meal. This single change can shift the way your body heals itself overnight. You're not just eating for nutrition anymore, you're eating for optimal absorption and maximum benefit. Mistake number 1, not understanding individual selenium needs and health status, the breakthrough discovery. And now we reach the most critical mistake of all, the one that determines whether Brazil nuts become your greatest ally or your hidden enemy, not understanding your individual selenium status before eating them. Let me share something that changed how nutritionists think about Brazil nuts. In a landmark study at the University of Copenhagen, researchers followed 876 seniors for 2 years. They divided them into 3 groups based on their baseline selenium levels: deficient, adequate, and high. The results were startling. Seniors with selenium deficiency who added 2 to 3 Brazil nuts weekly showed remarkable improvements: 34% better thyroid function, 28% reduction in oxidative stress markers, and significantly improved immune response. But here's the shock: seniors who already had adequate or high selenium levels and added Brazil nuts experienced negative outcomes. Their thyroid function worsened, they developed symptoms of selenosis, and some experienced cognitive issues. Meet Margaret, a 71-year-old retired nurse from Vermont. She'd read about Brazil nuts being a superfood for seniors and started eating 3 daily, thinking more was better. Within 6 weeks, she noticed her hair thinning dramatically. Her nails became brittle and started breaking. She developed a persistent metallic taste in her mouth and felt constantly fatigued. Her doctor ran comprehensive labs and discovered her selenium levels were nearly 3 times the healthy range. "I was poisoning myself with a health food," Margaret told us later. "I thought I was doing everything right." After stopping Brazil nuts entirely for 3 months and having her selenium levels monitored, Margaret gradually recovered. Now she eats just one Brazil nut twice weekly, and her labs show perfect selenium levels. Why individual assessment matters. Selenium is not a more is better nutrient. It follows a U-shaped curve. Too little causes problems, the right amount is protective, but too much is toxic. The difference between therapeutic and toxic is remarkably narrow. Your selenium needs depend on multiple factors. Geographic location: if you live in selenium-rich soil regions, like parts of the Great Plains, you may already get adequate selenium from local produce and water. People in selenium-poor regions, like the Pacific Northwest or parts of Europe, are more likely deficient. Thyroid status: if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis or hyperthyroidism, adding selenium without medical supervision can worsen your condition. Some thyroid conditions improve with selenium, others deteriorate. Existing diet: if you regularly eat seafood, organ meats, eggs, and whole grains, you may already have optimal selenium levels. Adding Brazil nuts could push you into excess. Kidney function: seniors with chronic kidney disease have trouble excreting excess selenium, making toxicity more likely. Genetic factors: some people have genetic variations that affect how they metabolize selenium, making them more susceptible to either deficiency or toxicity. The right approach. Step 1. Get tested. Ask your doctor for a selenium blood test before adding Brazil nuts to your routine. Optimal levels are 70 to 150 nanograms per milliliter. Below 70 suggests deficiency, above 150 increases toxicity risk. Many comprehensive metabolic panels don't include selenium, so you must specifically request it. It's inexpensive and widely available. Step 2. Assess your current intake. Track what you eat for 1 week. Use a nutrition app to calculate your selenium intake from all sources. If you're already getting 55 plus micrograms daily from food and supplements, you may not need Brazil nuts at all. Step 3. Start low and slow. If testing shows you're deficient or on the low end, start with just 1 Brazil nut twice weekly. After 6 to 8 weeks, retest your levels. Adjust accordingly. Never start with daily consumption unless directed by a healthcare provider for a specific deficiency. Step 4. Monitor symptoms. Watch for signs of both deficiency and excess. Deficiency signs: fatigue, weakened immunity, brain fog, thyroid issues, muscle weakness. Toxicity signs: hair loss, brittle nails, garlic breath, digestive issues, fatigue, irritability, skin rashes. Step 5. Retest regularly. If you're eating Brazil nuts regularly, retest selenium levels every 3 to 6 months initially, then annually once stable. Special populations. If you have thyroid disease, work closely with your endocrinologist. Selenium can help Hashimoto's but may worsen Graves' disease. The guidance must be individualized. If you take immunosuppressants, high selenium can interfere with these medications. Avoid Brazil nuts unless approved by your doctor. If you're undergoing cancer treatment, some research suggests selenium supports conventional cancer treatment, but timing and dosing are critical. Never self-prescribe. The transformation. A wellness center in Arizona implemented selenium testing for all seniors before recommending Brazil nuts. They found that 62% already had adequate levels and didn't need supplementation. Of the 38% who were deficient, those who ate 2 to 3 Brazil nuts weekly under supervision showed remarkable improvements. Average energy levels increased by 41%. Thyroid function normalized in 73% of those with subclinical hypothyroidism. Immune markers improved significantly. Hair and nail health visibly strengthened. But the key was individualization. One size doesn't fit all, especially after 70. So let's bring these 6 critical pieces together. Week 1, you get your selenium levels tested and discover where you actually stand. No more guessing. You have data. Week 2, you source high-quality Brazil nuts from reputable suppliers, checking for freshness and proper storage. You're confident in what you're putting in your body. Week 3, you establish your personal routine, perhaps 1 Brazil nut on Tuesday and Friday mornings, eaten with an orange slice after breakfast, never on an empty stomach. Month 1, you pair your Brazil nuts strategically with vitamin C-rich fruits and avoid coffee for 2 hours afterward. You notice improved digestion and steady energy. Month 2, you review all your medications and supplements with your doctor to ensure no interactions. You feel safer and more informed. Month 3, you retest your selenium levels and discover they're now optimal. Your thyroid function improves. Your immune system strengthens. Your hair and nails look healthier. It's not one change that creates transformation, it's how these 6 steps work together as a personalized health strategy. Like a custom-tailored suit, it fits you perfectly because it was designed for you. And if you've watched till now, it means you truly care about precision in your health, and that intelligence will serve you well for years to come. In our next video, we'll reveal the 5 morning minerals that 78% of seniors are deficient in, and how to fix it without spending a fortune on supplements. Your body is wiser than you think, it just needs the right signals to heal. And those signals must be precise, personalized, and purposeful. Brazil nuts aren't magic, and they're not for everyone. But for the right person, at the right dose, at the right time, they can be transformative. The key is knowing who you are and what your body truly needs. Thank you for trusting Senior Guide with your health journey. We're honored to bring you science-backed, personalized guidance that respects your individuality. See you in the next video, and until then, stay strong, stay curious, and stay precisely healthy.